Hi, I'm Simon with AppliancePartsPros.com. Today we're going to show you how to repair your appliance. Are you ready? Remember, anytime you work on your appliance, make sure it's unplugged or the circuit breakers are off so there's no chance of electrocution. Also, make sure you turn off the water supply to the washer. In this video, we'll show you how to replace the gear case in a Maytag washer. It's going to be a very easy repair. Should only take a few minutes to show you how to do it. For this job, we're going to need a small flat blade screwdriver, 4-inch and 5/16-inch nut drivers, flat blade screwdriver, Phillips screwdriver, a pair of hooks, a wrench with the 4 socket heads and extension. The heads are 1/2 inch, 7/16, 10 millimeters, and 5/16, a pair of pliers, a plastic mallet, liquid soap, and the holding strap with a couple of hooks. When you open up the package, you're going to get a new gear case. The gear case is located under the washer in the center. It's responsible for turning the agitator and for spinning the basket. If your washer stops spinning or agitating and makes loud noises, that's most likely caused by a faulty gear case. To get it apart, we need to open the lid. And now we're going to remove this fabric softener dispenser using a flat blade screwdriver. I'm going to tilt this basket to the side, and I'm going to place the flat blade screwdriver right in that little groove here, and I'm going to pry it up. To remove the agitator, we need to take out the bolt that is on the very bottom of the agitator. I'm going to use a 7/16-inch long socket and a long extension. So place it on, hold it at the bottom, and I'm going to break it loose. All right. This is a nice pair of hooks I'm going to use. This is our already factory made, but you can design your own and make it at home. Just use the like wires, so maybe a thin rod, and bend it. Okay, so I'm going to place one into the hole here and the other one into the opposite side, and I'm gonna start lifting it up. And there we go. Now we're going to remove this hub retainer. I'm using a flat blade screwdriver. Going to pry it out. And then I'm going to use the pliers to complete that task. Okay folks, so here we are at the back of the washer. And we need to take off these 2 water inlet hoses that are attached to the water valve, and also pull out the drain hose from the standpipe. All right, so I'm going to use this 4-inch nut driver, and I'm going to remove this single screw. And I'm going to take this screw out, and I'm going to remove this cover. All right, next I'm going to take out these 2 1/4-inch screws using a nut driver. All right, you can see here we've got this 2 hinges that when I lift up the top will be inside the slots, and they will support the top. Now we're at the front of the washer, and we are going to lift the top. Grab it on the sides and pull it forward about 1/2 inch, and then I'm gonna lift it up. Slowly raise it. 2 hinges are locked into the slots, and I'm going to slowly let the lid open all the way. And now we're going to install the holding strap. As you can see, it's just a rope with 2 hooks, one on the top, one on the bottom. Place it right there and right here, and slowly let it go. So our next thing would be to remove this stub ring. So we can see a number of slots here on the side. Each of them corresponds to the clip here at the side of the tub. We're going to use the flathead screwdriver and we're going to pop them open one by one. We're going to insert the flathead screwdriver right here underneath of the clip and pop it open. Be careful, don't break it. All right, we're going to move to the next one. Okay, now we can lift it off. All right, so after we remove the tub ring, we now going to remove the inner basket. So the basket normally, I should say probably 50% of the time, 60% of the time, we'll just pull out straight with a little fight. Maybe sometimes no fight, but a lot of times, like I said, it's probably 40% of the time, even a little more, it will fight with you. So I'll show you what to do to remove it anyway. So we're going to use the piece of wood, cut it so it would go in, and there is a edge here where the metal meets with the plastic. So you need to place the wood into the metal, not into the plastic. This is very important. So it has to go all the way up into the metal edge. So this is approximately 21 1/16 of an inch length. Yours could be a little bit different, so you measure it before you cut the wood. So I'm going to install it inside, place it so it would go into the metal. So this piece of wood goes right in the center, right above the shaft, and I placed one end already, and I'm going to lift up the second end slowly. Next step is, I'm not going to do it, but I'll explain you exactly what it is. So we're going to use the regular car jack. You're going to place it here on the shaft. I recommend to place a piece of wood, tape it down to the car jack, and then we're going to jack it up here for underneath of this wood, and then slowly raise it, and the car jack will push the basket of the shaft. So then you can just use this wood and lift it up. Our next step would be putting down the top. So I'm going to take off the strap. And I'm going to put down the top slowly, put down the lid. You're going to lock the top, tilt it back on the box so we can go from underneath. To get it apart, we need to remove this cover. It's held in place by two 5/16 screws, one at the bottom, one at the top, and I'm going to use the 5/16 inch nut driver to take them out. All right, so I'm going to start with the bottom screw, and now the top one, and now we're going to remove this shield cover. We're going to remove the belt. I'm going to pull it off the gearbox pulley and turn it clockwise so the belt will come off. I'm going to remove it from the motor pulley. Next, I'm going to disconnect this motor plug. This is the locking tab. I'm going to press in and pull it out. Next, I'm going to hide the harness out of the way. And I put it down here. Next, I'm going to remove these two 1/2 inch bolts that holds the motor. I'm going to use the 1/2 inch socket wrench. And the top one, we need to hold the motor, and we're gonna pull it straight out. Next, I'm going to remove this plug. I'm going to press down on the locking tab and pull the plug out. Again, I'm going to take it away, out of the way actually, and using a flathead screwdriver, I'm going to pry out slightly, just very slightly, the capacitor, and I'm going to turn it counterclockwise to free from the mount. And turn it, and I'm going to pull it out. Next, I'm going to remove this retainer from the gear case. Again, I'm going to pull it straight up. And now I'm going to take this one out of the capacitor. Same way, push it. I'm going to place the capacitor somewhere safe. Harness out of the way. Now we can remove this shifter actuator. First, I'm going to push down on the locking tab and disconnect the plug at the bottom. And now I'm going to use the Phillips screwdriver. I'm going to take out two screws. They are very conveniently painted in a green color so we can easily see them. Now I'm going to remove this retainer. And just grab it on the sides and pull it straight out. I mean, if you wish, you can use the needle nose pliers to do that. Next, I'm going to take out this drain pump. It's held in place by 3 5/16 screws here. We can call them bolts. Also, if you did not take out the water completely out of the tub, when we will take off the pump, you will need a towel here because it's going to be some water in a drain hose for sure. I already drained it, so I'm fine, but you need to consider that. So I'm gonna, using that socket wrench, I'm gonna take out this bottom bolt, and then I go to the top. And then I'm gonna pull it straight out. So exactly at this point, we need the towel. So because I'm gonna put it down right there, out of the way. And make sure the harness is also out of the way. Now I'm going to take off the gearbox pulley. This is the 1/2-inch nut, and I'm going to use the 1/2-inch socket wrench, and we're going to take it out. Okay, you'll have to do a little forcing because it has a thread lock on it. And it's supposed to come off straight up. Just slowly pull it off. So you see, this side goes in first. The flat side is out. Next, we're going to take out the clutch. We need to turn it counterclockwise, about a 3/4 of an inch. And now we can pull it out. Careful, there's a spring there inside. And I'm going to take this spring off, put it inside the clutch, and we can put it away. Now when the gearbox is stripped from all the parts, we need to take out this 4 bolts that hold it in place. This is a 10mm socket wrench. That's the best grip, and I'm gonna remove them one by one. Okay, and I'm gonna slide the gearbox out. Okay, now we need to remove that seal. Normally it should stay on the top of the transmission, but it slide out. I'm gonna pry it out if we can. Well, I'm afraid we need to put the washer upright and hammer it from inside. So that's what we're going to do. I'm gonna lift up the washer, put it upright, and I'm gonna slide the top. Okay, I'm gonna slide it. Then I'm gonna bring the strap, lift up the top, and put it on the hinges. Then I'm gonna open the lid slowly. And I'm gonna place the strap. Alright, so I'm gonna punch this seal out. I'm gonna use this long extension for my socket wrench. You can use the either the wooden stick or a PVC pipe. Okay, so next I'm going to remove this strap. I'm gonna lower down the top, hold on to the lid. I'm going to slowly close the lid, and I'm going to slide the top, so we're going to lock it. Next, I'm going to tilt it back. And we're going to proceed. All right, so this is the old seal. This is the old gear case next to the new one. If you don't have this part, you can get it from appliancepartspros.com. Before installing the new gear case into the tub, I'm going to put a little bit of soap, a liquid soap on that seal. It'll make it a little easier to squeeze it in. Alright, so I'm going to place more soap here on the opening right there. And I'm going to install the gear case. Now when we have all 4 bolts in, we can tighten them. Alright, so I'm going to install the drain pump. I'm going to put some liquid soap on this seal. I'm going to make it easier. Match the holes and secure it with these 5/16 inch or 8 millimeter screws. You can use either of the heads on the socket wrench. Now I'm going to install the clutch assembly. The spring goes first, and then we'll have 1, 2, 3, and 4 tabs that will go into these slots, and then we're going to turn it to lock. So match that here the gears, and we're going to push it in and turn clockwise. Make sure that all 4 of them are in and locked. Now we can install the capacitor. We've got these mounting cross here that will go into this square cutout. I'm going to place it slightly angled. Push it in and turn it clockwise. It's locked. Next I'm going to install the shifter actuator. I'm going to start with plugging it in because it's going to be a little bit harder to plug it in after we install it. Make sure it clicks. Then we've got here 2 pins that goes into these holes. And this arm must be inside this loop. Just like that. So hold it, and then we're going to secure it with the couple of Phillips screws. Next, I'm going to clip this retainer in and plug the capacitor plug. Make sure it locks. I'm going to clip this retainer in. And this one right here. Alright, so next I'm going to install this gear case pulley. It goes in this way, and we're going to place it on the shaft here. Turn it slightly so the splines will match. I'm going to install the nut manually as far as it can go. And next I'm going to use the 1/2 inch socket, and we're going to tighten it. Okay, it has to be on tightly, very nicely, so I'm gonna hold it and I'm gonna kick the wrench. Alright, I'm going to install the motor. This is the plug, and it's facing this side. I'm going to match the holes and place a couple of bolts in. And I'm going to secure it with the 1/2 inch socket wrench. Now we're going to plug this motor plug in. It goes in this way, so place it in and push it in. Make sure it's locked. Next I'm going to place on the drive belt. First it goes on the motor pulley. Hold it on there. And we're going to place it on the top of the gear case pulley and start turning it clockwise. Make sure that the belt is not coming off the motor pulley. Careful, don't put your fingers into the jeopardy. Now I'm going to place this cover shield, and goes like that, and I'm going to secure it with a couple of 5/16 inch screws using a nut driver. Now ready to place the washer upright. Be careful, it's still heavy. And we're going to remove the box. Alright, I'm going to pull up and lift up this the top, and I'm going to strap this holding strap and let the top go back, and the lid open slowly, support it. And now I'm going to install the basket, place it on the shaft, and we need to push it down slightly, then turn it so it will match the splines there down. Next we're going to install the top ring. If you look at the top of the outer tub, you will see this 4 pins, which are actually pilot pins, so they will fit into the 4 holes in this ring. And after we feed them in, we can press on and lock the ring. I'm going to press on, and then we can visually check if they're all locked. Each slot has a clip underneath. All right, they're all locked. We're now going to place the top down. I'm going to take out this holding strap. I'm going to put slowly down, and I'm going to catch the lead and close it. I'm going to lower it down, align it, and then push it back. Next, I'm going to secure the top at the back here with the couple of 1/4-inch screws here. And now I'm going to install this small cover back on. And 2 tabs goes into these 2 slots. Place it over, match the hole here, and I'm going to secure it with the 1/4-inch screw. And don't forget to connect the water inlet hoses to the water valve. And also install the drain hose into the standpipe. Let's open the lid. And now I'm going to place this hub retainer clip in place. As you can see, there's channels here. And we're going to slide it in and push it in. And I'm going to use the pliers just to snug it in. So we're going to install the wash plate onto the shaft. This splines inside will fit over the shaft splines. So I'm going to place it onto the shaft. And play with it slightly left and right so on the splines will match. And then let it go. Press it down. Next, we're going to install the agitator. Place the bolt into the 7/16" socket head. And then I'm going to pull out this beautiful agitator, and I'm going to insert this into the agitator. And we're going to go through this opening. Then I'm going to turn it over and mount it onto this wash plate. And place the bolt right in the opening in the center. And I'm going to tighten the bolt. You need to hold it down so it will stop the basket from turning to a certain point. And then I need to hold the basket and tighten more. Okay. And now we're going to install the fabric softener dispenser. Place it on the top and push it down. And now we can close the lid. Okay, folks, after we've done the repair, we need to recalibrate the washer. Make sure it's plugged in and hooked up to the water. And then just read and follow the instructions. This is your knob that you're going to turn, and this is your indicator lights that will indicate on which cycle it is. Thank you for being a part of another successful repair brought to you by AppliancePartsPros.com. For any of your future appliance repair projects, please check out our other videos available on our site, on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Instagram.